This is Kenneth Turan of the Los Angeles Times, and I'm here with my colleague Justin Chang, and we're here to talk about holiday movies. Justin, are you feeling in the holiday spirit? Is the spirit moving you?
I guess it is, although it's weird because the holiday spirit, it feels very, very busy. It doesn't feel at all relaxing, Kenny, for us. I mean, this kind of fall and winter season is sort of our it's like tax season for accountants, for film critics. But there are definitely a lot of movies that are going to be opening close to the holidays that I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure you are too. What are you looking forward to?
Well, one is something, I mean, we always think of Christmas as the really fixed season, and studios kind of plan months ahead of time, years ahead of time, what their Christmas releases are going to be. But this year, Warner Brothers popped in the new Clint Eastwood movie called The Mule, which I believe actually was still shooting earlier this year. And Eastwood is directing himself. For a while, it was thought that he wouldn't act again, but he's acting again. He's playing a very old drug mule, who for a variety of financial reasons becomes enmeshed in the drug trade. I kind of can't resist that one. I'm really looking forward to that one. And the other one is quite different. It's Mary, Queen of Scots. It's a historical drama. It stars Saoirse Ronan as Mary, Queen of Scots, Margot Robbie as her rival, Queen Elizabeth. And a few years ago, I visited a remote island monastery, the ruins of it in Scotland, where Mary had hid out for a week or so, and while she was on the run. And so I just feel like I'm really looking forward to kind of reliving that experience.
You can do a real point-by-point, comparison, see if it holds up. Absolutely. No, I'm looking forward to that one. From one Mary to another, Mary, Queen of Scots to Mary Poppins Returns. It's a very Merry Christmas. I'm sorry. And this movie, I have no idea if it's going to be any good or not. The nostalgia factors through the roof for me. The idea of doing a more than 50 years later follow-up to a justly beloved family film. This one starring Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins, directed by Rob Marshall, with Lin-Manuel Miranda in the cast, and contributing to the music as well. It feels the most festive, the most holiday-esque of what we're seeing so far. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And another movie I'm looking forward to, something completely different, is Vice, which is the new movie from Adam McKay. And after The Big Short, I think kind of plunging even further into sort of political topical satire with Christian Bale playing former Vice President Dick Cheney, and Amy Adams and Sam Rockwell. It's Steve Carell. It's just got a terrific cast. So I think that stands to be kind of one of the last of this year's sort of big award contenders to be unveiled. So I think all eyes are going to be on that movie very much. Mine as well. And Kenny, we've seen a few things, of course, that have already played at festivals and that will be opening in theaters around this time. What would you like to recommend?
Well, there's a couple of films from Cannes, and everyone is talking about how Cannes lost its luster, and Cannes is losing ground to Venice and losing ground to Toronto. But still, there are a lot of loose talk going around.
All the talk, yes.
But, still they had a lot of very strong films.
Absolutely.
Debuted in Cannes this year, and two of them especially struck me. One is Shoplifters by the great Koreeda, the great Japanese director who won the Palme d'Or for this film. His films are almost impossible to describe because their plots can seem ordinary. This is about a family, basically an extended family of petty criminals. But he has such a gift for humanity, for kind of bringing out what's special about humanity, that all his films are really wonderful, and this one is really one of the best ones. The other one is a bit of a different film. It's called Cold War. It's by the Polish director Paweł Pawlikowski, who works a lot in England, but over the last several years has begun returning to his native Poland to work there. He did Ida, which was the Oscar winner, and this is another film set in Poland with a Cold War theme, but this is a love story, kind of very loosely based in spirit on the relationship between his own parents. And this is very much a star-crossed love story, star-crossed because of personality, and star-crossed because of the Cold War as well. Mm-hmm. So these are ones that, because of Cannes, I've seen, and I can wholeheartedly recommend.
They're both really, really wonderful films. I completely echo that. And two films that I've seen that are also opening around this time. One of them is the aptly titled The Favorite, which is a new film by Yorgos Lanthimos, director of films like The Lobster and Killing of a Sacred Deer. Not everyone's cup of tea, I know. Not always my cup of tea, but this movie is, a British historical drama set in Queen Anne's court with Olivia Colman in a marvelous performance as Queen Anne, and she's flanked by Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz as two women who are vying for her favor. And this is just a completely entertaining, very well written, viciously funny, and quite tragic in the end a movie that I think finds Lanthimos, putting his style to work in a very different and productive way, and I very much recommend that. And then another one, continuing on with just the theme of just viciousness and darkness and other holiday perennials. It's funny.
But it's really in the holiday spirit.
It's funny how sometimes I think a lot of movies come out this time of year that are not, that sort of contradict the idea that holiday movies have to be festive and joyous. And one of those is Vox Lux, which is stars Natalie Portman as a pop star who I don't want to say too much about this. I will just say that Natalie Portman is a pop star, and I'll just say it continues her sort of plunge into the deep end after her performances in Jackie and Black Swan. I just think Natalie Portman has become just one of the most exciting actors working today. In terms of doing a real deep dive into a character's sort of twisted or broken psychology. And this is also a movie that kind of in the season of A Star Is Born and Bohemian Rhapsody and just a lot of movies about musicians and kind of about the mystique of popular stardom, and so this is a movie that plays with those ideas in a really, really fascinating way. So yeah, and there are many more that we have not mentioned yet, and that many that we have not seen yet, but we are very much looking forward to seeing them. And you can read our reviews and our commentaries on those films at latimes.com.